There were 952 more jobs in the Bermuda market in 2023, the biggest year-on-year increase by both number and percentage since 1999. The vast majority, 816, are in the other non-Bermudian category. This means a non-Bermudian who is not a spouse of a Bermudian, or PRC. The increase of Bermudians in the workforce is little more than half of the previous year's increase. This appears to tell us two things. Firstly, the working population has increased significantly, possibly with hundreds of new guest workers, increasing government's payroll tax revenue. Secondly, Bermudian employment as a share of the workforce is at its lowest since 2009. Labour and Economy Minister Jason Hayward highlights that the number of Bermudian jobs is a net figure and has been reduced by the number of Bermudians retiring. However, we don't have the data on the number of Bermudians who retired.
There was 121 new jobs for Bermudians, or jobs above 2022 levels. When you look at the Bermuda job numbers, you have to factor that there were a large portion of Bermudians that would have retired from the job market in 2023. As a result, in order to get a positive number, you need to replace those retirees plus add additional jobs to the economy. That means that hundreds of jobs would have had to be created for Bermudians and not just 121 jobs.
Do you keep any of that kind of data? Do you keep track of the number of retirees compared to new jobs?
So that is difficult in terms of tracking the amount of people who retire on an annual basis. But we do know that there is a large volume of persons retiring, greater than in previous decades, because we put out the paper regarding the aging population and we recognize the demographic makeup of the country.
The actual gross figure of the increase of Bermudian employment. Is there any way to track that?
We can see how much persons are registered for social insurance. It doesn't give us a full picture of everybody who is actually retired, but you can determine the population who has reached or turned 65. And we know that the majority of those individuals will be exiting the workforce.
Do you think that could be done on the next employment survey?
It's something we can have a conversation about statistics as to how we better explain the numbers.
Ultimately, this is further evidence of the impact an aging Bermudian population has on the makeup of our workforce.
We need more persons to replace the persons that are actually exiting our workplace. And just to put it in a practical example, if you have 600 people that retire, in order to have job growth, you need about 800 new jobs created. And what you will see in the numbers is job growth of 200, not job growth of 800.
Gary Foster-Skelton for Bermuda Broadcasting News.